Hi guys, Eric Pathy here at PickDogs.com with Big Al McMordie. We were just talking before we got on there about zooming in versus zooming out. Everybody gets so obsessed with short-term streaks. So obviously in the last 8, 9 games, it's been dog, 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 dog. And you're thinking the dogs are just winning every NBA game. But if you zoom out to April 19th, Al, what's the actual record for the underdogs versus favorites?
Yeah, I mean, for every playoff game played thus far, the underdogs have covered, but just barely 30, 25, and 2 ATS.
So it's amazing because again, I've talked to clients every day, and all they want to do is talk about, oh, you should just be betting all the dogs. You should, yeah, okay. The last 8 games, the last 9 games, things run in a streak. They call that variance in sports wagering. And like I said, 30, 25, and 2. Because again, at the end of every season, and you and I really never talk about this. I talk about this a lot with Micah and other groups that I deal with. I always track the numbers in the NFL season and the NBA season. It always looks like it's close to about 50% at the end of the season, dogs versus favorites. It's never really is anything more than that. It's about 50%, and then you have the streaks within the streaks within the season.
Correct.
Now, what tell me about the totals, because it's the same thing with the totals.
Yeah, out of the 57 games, the unders have a slight edge. The unders are 29, 27, and 1 thus far in the playoffs.
29, 27, and 1. So again, almost about 50%, like I said, give or take. And you're also talking about 11 to 10 odds, 30 and 25. You're really not up any money. You're basically breaking even up 5 games, right? Because of all the juice. You might even.
Oh no, I mean, your return on investment. If you can go 30 and 25 over the long term, that's great.
No, no, no.
So,
I understand, but I'm saying it's not like we're playing money. This is like you're laying 11 to 10. You're not up 5 units.
well,
You're up.
well, yeah, but still, I mean,
Yeah,
30 and 25 is still 54.5%. Nothing wrong with
exactly.
that. But again, at the end of the playoffs, it's probably going to be, less than 54.5%.
And
Things
like I
always
said,
revert to the mean.
that's why I always say, and I'm not going to mention, you just like other cappers. I know other cappers. I know cappers that are on, they have winning streaks and they have losing streak. And a friend of mine, he's on a losing streak. He got blown up, and he's like, okay. And then he shows the guy his records for like, 4 years, and it's fine. But he's 0-4 in the last 4, and the world's coming to an end. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you off air who that is. But
Yeah. Well,
it,
I mean,
it's
hey, I've been there and done that as well. So,
Exactly. So, and again, like I said, it's we had a small lose for all you all access members that are watching this. Yeah, we had a small losing week. It basically came down to one game. We had beginning of the week, we came back to even, and basically you win. You cover the Thunder. You have a winning week. We lost one game. We lost 7 units for the week. Basically, such is life. It is what it is. With the vig, and then we move on to this week. Still up over 250 units this season since January 1st. A lot of people ask me about individual records. You can get the win-loss records directly at pickdogs.com. You can get the unit records directly through me. Got to contact me and reach out, send me a text message or send me an email. And again, I'll be glad to speak with you one-on-one. And again, a lot of people contacted me about yesterday's video talking about a promotion. This is an early bird promotion I'm running for the upcoming college and pro football and basketball season. Al does not separate his Telegram channel that we run for All Access via Sport. So when I offer you a subscription to Al's All Access, it's for a period of time. And all of the selections that are there, whether it's hockey, whether it's baseball, whether it's UFL, whether it's CFL, whether it doesn't matter, whether it's horse racing, as he hit the first
and we
race.
will have, yeah, we did hit the Kentucky Derby, and we will have a plan at the Preakness on Saturday.
And I will be at the Preakness on Saturday. So you're not going to be there, are you?
Okay.
You're not. I knew you flew in for a concert, but you're
I'm
not flying in
not.
for Preakness.
I'm not a big fan of going to these big races because these are events that are much better on television. I was talking to a client of mine. He was at the Kentucky Derby, and we had Sovereignty. He said it was so loud there, and he couldn't tell who the horses. He couldn't hear the track announcer. he couldn't tell who the horses were. He couldn't tell if it was number 18 or number 16. So he didn't even know that he was winning the race as it happened.
There you go. Well, so for me, it's me and Costi are going to be a little coddled. For all you guys that watched our podcast that we do every Thursday at 1 o'clock, last 2 weeks ago we had Don Johnson. He's Don Johnson. He's a professional horse bettor. He also gets a VIP tent, so you get the private tents out on the infield, the corporate sponsored tents. So with the spread laid out and the champagne and everybody's wearing the fancy hats. So we're admittedly, because we're getting invited, we gotta take advantage of that opportunity because. Hey, why not? You get to walk in through the back door, avoid the crowd, get into the fancy tent that's air conditioned when it's 100% humidity. You were here in DC a couple of weeks ago. You didn't have that oppressive humidity.
We had the humidity. It even rained that Saturday. So yeah, I got a taste of it.
You got a little taste. You remember from when you're back in the old Pittsburgh days, right.
Or back in the DC days. I used to live in DC.
Right.
So, yeah.
So now it's about times 10 since you were here. So I'll take the air-conditioned tent in the VIP quarters all day long. With that being said, before we get to the complimentary selection, since we're talking about horse racing, do you think we have an opportunity or a shot at a Triple Crown this year?
No.
Preakness is the make or break every year, right? Obviously.
Well, I don't even think Sovereignty is going to run in the Preakness. So, no, we don't have a shot at a Triple Crown.
So for all you guys, that goes to show you how much Eric Pathy knows about horse racing. I haven't even been following it. I didn't know he wasn't going to run. So therefore, dumb question on me. Hey, it is what it is. We'll keep it in the video.
Yeah. It's now there's talk. People want to, change the Triple Crown because, a lot of trainers don't like the 2 weeks in between the Derby and the Preakness. It's just not enough time. We'll see if horse racing ever changes it. I like tradition.
Right.
There have been enough horses that have not skipped the Preakness. I would rather just keep everything the same just because I like tradition. But
well, also, I don't know if you're aware of this. I was talking to Don Johnson. Like I said, he's a friend of ours, a professional horse bettor. According to him, this is the last year for 2 years that the Preakness will be running at Pimlico, which is up the street from my office, literally 5 minutes from my office. And then they're going to be moving it to Laurel as they do a $400 gazillion rehab of Preakness, supposed to take about 2 years at Pimlico, around the corner from my office. So that'll be different after 151 plus years running consecutively at Pimlico, to have 2 years where they move it to Laurel, as you know, a suburb of Greater Maryland, about 45 minutes away here. So that'll be interesting. So that's another reason why I want to go this Saturday, because it's going to be the last time they run for a couple years here.
Yeah.
So with that being said, now we've established if you zoom out, everything's closer to 50-50 on the sides and the totals, 30, 25, and 2 on the underdogs in the NBA playoffs, 29, 27, and 1 under the total in the NBA playoffs on the closing numbers. What do we got as a complimentary selection?
Well, we have an elimination game on Tuesday night. The Cleveland Cavaliers will be the first team which will face elimination, and they are a number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. And when you get a number 1 seed facing elimination, they tend to go under the total. They've gone under the total 62 out of 112 going back to 1990. So we'll look for the under 230 in Game 5 between the Pacers and the Cavs.
Under 230, Game 5. Pacers, Mavs. As always, guys.
Pacers, Cavs.
Pacers, Cavs. Good day and good luck.